Hello. There we go. How's everyone doing? Hello. Always live chats are always I don't know, I always feel awkward in live chats, but that's just the nature of the beast, I suppose, right? Yeah, it's like anything else though. The more I do it, the easier it gets, but man, I'll tell you, it was such a weird thing, just start to talking to a camera and talking to yourself. At least this way, I have a purpose of it. Hey, look at that! It's the crew. It's the dynamic, the trifecta. It's just us. Oh, it is more than just us. That's a capital US. Oh, you guys are the best. So, how's everyone doing tonight? You ready for some a good portrait session? I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about this and how we might approach it tonight. So glad that you all are here and we could just keep having some fun with this and getting some good stuff. Seeing you guys just really do well. Man, we've got some people have been posting like crazy. I love seeing the work. So anyways, well, I'm a dad who loves to draw. My name is Kurt Aspland. And tonight, this is our Wednesday night live. Every Wednesday night, we get together from 7 until 8 and put an hour toward practicing drawing the portrait. I've been drawing for almost 30 years. So it's my hope to help you guys not to get through some of those rough spots as quickly as we can, so you feel comfortable with drawing and confident, and that's what we're doing here, right? So, anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. I noticed, we do have a really great Facebook group that's extremely active. Someone had posted, oh man, I feel awful right now that I can't remember who it was. Let's see if I can find it real fast. Somebody had posted a picture of Ricky Gervais, that's a portrait they did. And let's see if I could, oh yeah, here it is. It was by Carrie Butler. And, I thought Carrie did a great job on this, but when I looked at his reference, the picture he had taken or that he used, the flash hit Ricky Gervais's face straight on, and it lost all dimension. So when you're going to draw a face, I always recommend that you try and get really good reference material. The picture of the woman we have on screen tonight, this is good reference material. So what makes good reference material? Let me show you. And this also goes for if you are taking pictures of anyone, or if you're in a drawing class or anything. But if you have your model, let's say this is you over here, okay, and you're drawing, and this is the model you're looking at. The best lighting scenario is to put the light on this side of the face, or that side of the body, or that side of the still life. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get half of it in shadow. And this is going to give you the best outcome whatsoever. Now, you might add yourself a little light on this side, and this is going to get you some nice a little reflective light. That looks really nice as well. So you just want to set yourself up for success. And so, of course, the woman that we're going to draw tonight, she has light coming on one side, and we're looking at the other side. So when you go to draw a face, just try and get it lit from one side. It will do wonders as you work. In fact, even when you draw anything, if you can light it from coming across, it just works so much better. All right. Okay, so let's see. So let's go ahead and jump into this right away here. Remember, I always start off, I have like 3 phases when I draw. We always go with gesture. Oops. Gesture. That goes into construction. And then from there, we go into detail. All right. It's pretty easy. I'll continue to go over this. We never know who's new in the group, but nonetheless, these are the 3 parts of a drawing that I'm thinking of. So let's take a look at this. So with a face, let's start really easy, because faces can get extremely complicated. And if we try and keep these things as simple as possible, then it's easier. So let's just start off with a couple ovals. These are actually spheres, and you know, when I'm drawing, I do want to show you when I'm at this point. I'm holding, now this happens to be an Apple pencil, but I'm holding it from the back. I'm not all tight up to the tip here, because in that gesture stage, I want it to stay loose. I don't want to get into detail. So as I'm drawing at this point, I'm really holding my my pencil from the back end there. Okay. So we have three circles, and these are actually spheres. And if I am looking at, let's just kind of look at our woman here, our lady, and let me just show you something here. So if you remember before, we want to try and determine how we're looking at her. Okay, so are we below her? Are we above her? And there's 2 clues that you could always use to dictate that, to figure that out. And that is looking for the temples of the eye. Okay, temples of the eye are right here. You could just use your own fingers and feel them in your forehead. And so, of course, they're right about there on our model here. And then you want to look kind of toward the top of the ear. So in this scenario, we are looking up at her. Okay, so if I was to like try and get a feel for this, it would be like this, because I'm looking up at her. Now if we were looking down, it might look something like this. And if we were looking straight on, it would be something like this. The next thing I want to do that's really the first move I want to take when I'm going to draw someone's portrait. I try and determine, am I looking up, am I looking down, or am I looking straight on? Okay. Now let's call that the head angle. Head angle. Okay. I might have to come up with a better word than that. Next thing I want to do is try and determine, now that I know if she's looking up or she's looking down, or if it's my point of view, if I'm looking up at her, where is her face? So in this case, let me show you. Her face is coming on that side. So I want to be able to indicate that. So as I look at this, all right, Z Cooper is in the house. Shelby, Russell, and Danielle, we got a new visitor. Welcome, Z. So we got the center line there. Now in this, let's go over here in number 2. We'll call this A, B. On B, the center line is going to be to the far right. And then, of course, on C, let's just say it is going to be dead center. I usually, and when I'm drawing, if I'm going to draw someone's portrait or draw a portrait, I don't like this. This is my least favorite. I don't like a dead center portrait. I like it I like it a little bit turned to the right, a little bit turned up. I'm looking up or looking down. It just makes for a far more interesting portrait. So, so those are our basics. So we get our head angle, then we're going to figure out where our face is, our face direction. So once we have that, then I would say next we can start dropping some rough elements, rough things where where are the ears? Can we get a rough spot to where we think of the nose is going to go? Which, this is interesting. Let me bring something up here. I just thought of this. I don't think we actually talked about basic head proportions. So let's take a minute and just review that. So here's a basic head, okay? And typically if we're looking at this straight on, and I'm only going to show it straight on just for demonstration purposes, this is going to be the brow line. All right, usually your eyebrows are going to be right along the brow line there. All right, and then below the brow line, usually, sometimes I'll say about a third. If you go from the brow line down to the bottom chin, it's roughly thirds, but it just kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of where these pieces might fall. You can end up getting the nose. And when I draw the nose, just for rough sake, I like to think of a man's tie. Okay, then from right below the nose here, we will end up having the ball of the mouth. And right below that kind of overlaps it, is the chin. This is actually, I believe this is like the bottom of the lip. It's not the center part of the lip. So let's look at this here now. So let's just say this is the corner of the nose. This is the wings of the nose. So if you were to draw a line straight up from the wings of the nose, That's the outside part of the nose, right? Let's see, right there. You see that? You're going to fall into the eye. You're going to fall into the corner of the eye. Then then the pupil, the center of the pupil, usually will line up with the corner of the mouth. Then, of course, the center part of the nose here, this actually will drop down and form the, and I don't know, sorry, I don't know my terms, this part of the lips, and it helps you to draw the lips. All right, so those two things will line up. What else can I show you here? Okay, this is a good one. Then, of course, your ears will line up along the bottom of the nose generally, and your brow line. And here's something that I noticed that everybody, as people are posting portraits in our Facebook group, people keep making this mistake over and over again, and that's okay. That's what we're here for, to help out, to show you. But if when you're gonna draw someone's face, you really want to shade the upper lip, because typically the upper lip comes in like this, and then you get the bottom lip down here. So when you have light that's going to, you're gonna have light hit the bottom lip, and then the top part of the lip is going to be in shadow. So that's one thing you definitely want to remember, that I see mistakes that people, just because you don't know until someone points it out. And of course, this is another one, and let's see, who was that? They had this beautiful eye they had drawn. Let's see here if I can find it. Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. Erin Carballo. I hope she, Erin, E-R-I-N. I think that's a girl's name. Anyways, let's just go with she. I think it's a girl. So, anyways, she had this beautiful eye, and I just pointed out to her, I just showed her that in her eye, if she just did this couple things, it would work rather well for her. So in our eye, we have, of course, our pupil that is and the opening into our eyeball, and then always you should always have a shadow coming down from the upper eyelid. And then your iris. And then, of course, you're going to have your highlight is always, your highlight is always going to be in the darker area of your eye. Let me quickly demonstrate why that is. Let's just say we have our eyeball here. This is a side view. Okay. Okay. So what's happening with why this happens like this is on your eye you have, ooh, it's dark there. You have a clear, it's clear, what is it called? Oh, this sclera. The sclera is clear. It's like a wine glass, and it's glass. It's see-through. So when you end up having the sun shine down on it, it is actually you're getting a nice reflection right on the top of the sclera. Well, what's behind the sclera though is the shadow of the eyelid. So that's why you will usually have a more often than not, the reflection is always going to be in the darker part of the eye. Okay? Okay, that's it, I think, for that. So let's get on to this. Any questions? Any questions on anything? We're good? All right, we'll give everyone just a quick second here. Any questions on that? Extra little tips there. All right, I want to show you one more thing tonight one more short thing here before we, let's draw this right here. Follow me on this, okay? I'll give you a chance to draw this. Get this down on your page here. It's like a giant box. It's pretty easy, okay? Sometimes we actually can draw the head not using a sphere, but you can actually draw it using a box, believe it or not, and it turns out to be quite nice. So for fun, let's come up here with a line. Then we're going to do that. Am I going too fast? Are we okay? Let's connect those. And then we're going to come down with this angle here. I'm going to drop that down. And then let's estimate where the center is. Now you could use this method and find the center. Well, let's do it because this is going back in perspective. I'm going to use an X there. And then we can start, then I'm going to add, I'm going to add my necktie in here for my nose. Oh, we just got serious now, didn't we? I hope you all aren't saying like, oh my gosh, what did he just do? Listen, here, let's do this. Make this even simpler, okay? You probably had a beautiful drawing going on and I just messed it up. Just do one of these. How about that? Do one of these. That will make sense. Then we're going to put an eyeball right there. An eyeball behind that. Here's the ball of the mouth and my chin. Corner of my mouth. This is going to be the corner of my jaw, and it's going to circle around like this. Come all the way around here, like this. Now I'm just going to add a couple details here so you can actually see this thing come together here. So you can see that we have used a cube to actually draw a portrait or a head. So that's another way you can approach it. And you know who really there's a guy by the name of George Bridgman. I think it's Bridgman. Is that right? Let me look this up real fast. Bridgman. Yes. Okay, so George Bridgman has a lot of really good figure drawing and anatomy books, but he's very academic. So it's very academic, meaning, I mean, it's just, I learned a lot of stuff from reading his books. When was his, let's see, he was born in 1864 and died in 1943. So, yeah, so his books are all over the place. And, but anyways, I saw him use this method of a block method for the head more than anyone. And now I don't see too many people kind of going down that route. You might probably see it in animation because, you know, that the way it works from a animation or a cartoon standpoint. But I see most of the people using more of the sphere, and it's almost like a Andrew Loomis approach to drawing the head. So, anyways, all right. Let's get on to our drawing here of our woman. Okay. Any questions? Let's see. You have drawn the Hitchhiker Guide to the really. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have to look that one up here. Really? Well, there you go. Let's see. look at that. You're right. He does. That does look kind of funny. Good call there, Russell. Oh. All right. You all are going to have to look that up on your own time. All right, let's get to drawing our lady here. So once again, I'm going into that gesture phase. So I'm holding my pencil near the back here. And as I look at the front of her head, it's slightly angled like this. And I'm just drawing lightly here. This is going to be her brow line going over to her temple, and I'm cutting back here to roughly be her where her ears are. And very similar to how we did the opening of the drawing the head from that box form. I'm going to start with this upper visor where eventually I'm going to put her eyes. And then the part where her nose is, this line is almost level. So this is where we are getting this little bit of an angle going on here. Still holding my pencil from the far back. Forehead. And her neck's coming down. See that back of her neck? That this is the what are they? They're tendons. I know that, but they end up forming. This is considered the pit of the neck, and they will like lock on right here and go right up to our back of our ears, and that helps us turn our head. Okay, so those two tendons are coming. You could see them very clearly on her, which is great. They're right there. See that? And the other one's going to come around like this. Okay, so this side of her head's coming down here. And then her jaw is coming back, and still I'm holding my pencil from the toward the back of it here. Okay, now let's get this. Let's definitely put our hat in here, because their hat is very much a part of who she is here, and let's not be skimpy on it. So this hat is going to come. And I'm really looking at the negative space here. So for me, I was looking at this. I was like, okay, where this comes in right here. Oh, look, it's going to come right below her chin there. Okay, that's a good measuring mark. The other place of the hat is right above the chin, right there. I'm kind of now, look at this. One of the rules of measurement, what we've talked about, is looking at negative space. So there's negative space there, but look how much negative space I have over here. So definitely I need to make that adjustment. Okay, that looks much better there. All right, that looks pretty good to me. All right. So that pretty much, I feel pretty comfortable here with my gesture drawing. And as you can see, even though this is like a gesture, we started to kind of get into construction just a little bit to it's migrating a little bit. So we kept it loose. My lines are loose, so I can very easily go back in and so it's very easy that I could still make some adjustments without having to erase. All right. So let's get into her nose now. So I'm seeing her nose. Her nose is coming. Her nose is coming out quite a distance there. This is the outline of it. There is that top part where it's like a man's tie. This is the ball of the nose. And then I'm looking at this. Look at this here. One of the other rules of measurement are using vertical and horizontal lines. So here's a vertical line. I could see that the wings of the nose, or the nostrils, are going to go all the way back to the corner of her nose. So I've got to come way back here with them. And right away I could see that I'm, well, maybe, I'm okay. It looks like my nose is a little bit large for her, but proportionately overall, I think my head is also a little bit, it's much larger than the photo, so that's going to be okay. All right, let's get this. Let's look at the mouth here. The ball of the mouth, okay? So here's, oops. It's going to start right there, and it's going to go way over there. Watch this. There it is right there. Okay? Oh, I can't say that anymore. All right. I could say all right, maybe. Huh? All right, let's go ahead and get our eyeballs. One reason why I like to put my eyeballs in, it's a little bit easier for me to get these pupils lined up, so I know we're all looking in the right direction. All right, next. Let's get her eyelid in here, and this is nice. She has this beautiful eyelid. So I'm coming up, and then I'm going to just follow, like, what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking of her eyeball as a sphere, and I'm just kind of wrapping around it. And then we could do it for the other one as well. And then let's get the underside of it. And it has just a slight and the same over here. And then this part is going back because it's following the top of her eyeball, and it's coming back down this other side, and the same thing on the other side here. It's coming up, and this is another reason why I like putting my eyeballs in, because it just makes the information's there for me just to wrap things around, and it feels good. I mean, it's easier than trying to guess all of that. I'm going to add just a little bit of tone into her eye here. Now, once you get them in place, then you can kind of look at a couple things. For example, look, I'm off in this area here. If you look at the white, the shape of the white of her eyes, this one over here, the right is okay, but the one on her left it's too long. But you know, I'm okay with that. I don't have to be like, I'm not concerned with being 100% accurate when I'm drawing portraits. I just want them to be constructed correctly, okay? That's more important to me. Let's get this far side of her the frontal lobe part of her head. And once again, I'm looking at like negative space. I'm looking at what's this shape here. That's another measuring point. And then her eyebrows coming down. Looking at the negative shape again between the eyelid and where this eyebrow is coming down. How far does it come down? It comes down about there, I think. Yep. I'm going to get her the opening in her nose here, and watch this. This comes up and around. And if you haven't noticed, I am holding my pencil now more up toward the tip. And she has a little bit of a bridge there. And then this will come right into here. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing okay? All right. I'm going to curve the center line here because that's going around. It's going around the ball of the mouth. And then I could see that her cheek, these muscles here, and I don't know the name of them. Okay, great. Russell's doing great. All right. Let's get these lips in here now. So look at this. I've brought down this center section of her nose here, and that's going to guide me to drop in her lips. And then this one's going to be much wider. And then she has almost like a line going here, it looks like. And I can already see mine is a little, it's a little crooked. It's the right side is a little bit higher than it should be, but I'm going to leave it because I don't want to erase it. I want to live with my mistakes. And she has a slight turn up here. Now look at closely her underlip. Her underlip has this sort of thing going on. I could see it through observation. It's like this. You see that? That's the shape. So let's put that in here. And let's be mindful of where it starts. So it's like this. You're right. Then we could see the top of her chin. Now, this is interesting. As I've been drawing this, I could see, look at where my chin is. My chin in my original like rough sketch is way down there. So as you could see that I've made her face way too long, but that's okay because I can I'm just going to adjust it as I go along. This is why my gesture, I'm trying to keep it as light as possible, okay? So let's take a measurement here. Let's take a look at something. Her chin, that edge and that edge is kind of where I'm looking at. And where's this? Okay, that's almost lining up with her pupil, and that is almost lining up with her pupil as well. All right, so let's come down here. Okay, it's about where that's going to go. And that's about where that's going to go. And I'm squinting my eyes right now to try and get this proportion right. And I think this is much better here than my sketch. And then let's get in the I'm going to jump across her face and jump onto the left-hand side here. And once again, I'm looking for that negative shape. This is what I'm looking for right here in my mind. That. I'm looking for that negative shape as I draw her cheek on that far side. And I'm squinting my eyes. And this comes almost straight down. How's that look? Well, that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna stick with that. And then I can see this is coming in underneath down here. Looking very closely here. Now, another thing I like to do is, as I'm using curved lines, I also like to think of trying to put in here straight lines too. I think it adds a lot of interest. It gives you contrast to what you're going for here. All right, let's get the angle up here. Head's going back here. And then she has this lovely, there's the outside part of that curve of that hair. And then, you know, I'm just going to draw some nice angles here. A little bit of an S curve. Okay. Now let's get the back end here. We have her cheekbone coming in here. Video, not enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I've got a little warning over here, so if it slows down, let me know, okay? All right, let's get this ear in here, and let's be mindful of not to put this thing too far back. I'm looking at the negative. Again, the negative shape, and I'm also looking at this right here. Where is the bottom of this lining up with? Using a horizontal line. Okay. Yep, there was a short loss of signal. Okay, I think we're back, so it's minimal. All right. All right, there's my all right. Yeah, it's buffering a bit. All right, well, we will do the best we can, right? Squinting here, trying to make sure my proportions look okay. I'm gonna, on the side of my pencil here, I'm just gonna drop in a light tone. This is eventually gonna be much darker. Underneath her chin here, it's almost like there's a shadow, but if you think of it as a stair step almost. All right. Okay, so I think I got my head in here pretty good. I'm overall pretty happy. Now let's see if we can get this hat in correctly, so I can make some additional adjustments here. I could kind of envision this thing of drawing through slightly. Squint my eyes. Okay. And then she's got the top of her head here coming through. Boy, how many lines can I put in there to get her hat right? All right. So I'm just going to come in here with a dark tone immediately and drop kind of the silhouette of this in here. How's that look? It looks pretty good. I think I'm going to use the power of drawing digitally really quick here and kind of chip away at this just a little bit. Boom. All right. How is everyone doing? Doing okay over there? I think everyone's doing fine. I'm sure someone would give me a shout out. Hey, we're having a problem. Stop. Do something different. Look at this. I just noticed. Look how dark this corner of the hat gets there, and how dark the back end of this hat gets back over here. And then as it makes its way, it lightens up, of course. And then definitely I want to drop this in here. I want to get some tone for her. And then let's carefully drop this shoulder in here. Let's give it the same consideration like we have for the rest of our drawing. Yep, okay, prefer the other method. This has ran away a little bit. All right, sorry. Sorry, Russell. They will. You know what? I can tell you this much. I'll tell you this, and just something to think about. Can you show the shape of a hat again? Yes, let's do that. Okay, watch this. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, good call. All right, hold on, Shelby. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna make myself do it all over again. Okay. Let me. I'll just erase it. How about that? All right. Because it's not complete circle. I'm struggling on the right side. Okay, sounds good. No, you got to try these things. I know. So, all right. So let's and it's not really a good. It's a. I have an idea. Looking at it down here now. Okay, look at this. Look at this idea. Look at this idea. Let's just try and do something like this. Oop. Sometimes if we can get a sense of it like in a square, it might work a little bit easier. So let me see if that will work for me a little bit better here. So I'm coming way out there. I'm gonna go like that just a little bit. And now I'm just going to use that as kind of as a guide. All right, that's what I just did. Sometimes circles are hard to get. And if you can like block them in, for example, my hat kind of looks like her hair, but I got the idea. Good, excellent. Here's a thought. You know, there was a train that someone posted, but it's a D&D games night, so I gotta run and pick up food. Wow, Danielle, you do D&D? My son does D&D. We have it every Sunday night. We make food for the whole crew. Yeah, they come over on Sundays and spend about 6 hours in the basement. They've been doing it for years, so they get a free meal at our house. All right, Danielle, we'll see you later. It's 8 o'clock, so we need to finish this thing up here. So I'm going to use that little square method there, and really all I want to do now is finish this off. And the last thing I want to add Hold on. All right, last thing I want to add is she's got this great shadowing going on, and I definitely want to drop that in. It's going to help me turn the corners. My head looks good. Look at here. All right. So, okay, I think we're going to have a D&D session. So look at this. I'm going to tone in the side of her nose here, and I'm going to, I want to even go lighter than that. I'm going to tone in up here, all right? And then let's tone in the side of her head here. And then all this is going to be in tone. And then, of course, let's drop her neck in a tone as well. All right. Underneath her, and all I'm doing now is dropping in tone to give some sense of dimension here. A little bit of tone underneath here. Tone on the underside of her nose there. And I think that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to squint down here a little bit more. And this is coming in a little bit darker there. And darker down here as well. So, Russell, what I was going to tell you, I remember when I started, I was like really struggling with my portraits. I would get the construction down kind of, but it just didn't look like the person. And then one day, boom, it just came together. It was the strangest thing. And I was so excited. And so I brought my drawing pad to my teacher. I showed it to him, and he was like very complimentary. And then, boom, it just looked awful after that. I took a total step backwards. And then I hit another one. So, you know, what I found in my own personal experience, let's just say over the course of 10 portraits, 1 looked half decent, 9 looked awful. And then over the course of time, 2 started looking better. You know, and then it just started getting better and better to where then I started feeling a little more comfortable. So that's, sometimes it's going to hit, but as you keep practicing, you're going to get the hang of it. It's going to start locking in. My only thing when we're doing these things, I always recommend get your construction down, the likeness will follow. So anyways, okay, that's it for tonight, I think. Any other questions? Any other comments does anyone have? Okay, I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I will post this rebroadcast in our Facebook group. I'm going to shoot and try and plan do a live on Saturday night. It's kind of potpourri. So actually, this looks like her a bit. Well, very good. So I'm going to think about what we want to draw on Saturday night, and I'm always open for suggestions from the group. So thanks for watching, and we will see you shortly. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.